Friends, I feel so privileged to introduce to you a remarkable woman, United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina J. Mohammed. That means she's the number 2. She is remarkable for her ability to bring people together in a common cause, to reach out to diverse groups of people and draw them in. Perhaps this reflects her origins, growing up in a diverse family that included both Muslims and Christians, or the responsibilities that come from being the oldest of 5 girls, which must have required some serious negotiation skills. Or perhaps she inherited her determination to care for those around her from her mother, who was a nurse. Says someone else whose mother was a nurse. Whatever the reason, we all have cause to be grateful for the circumstances that have made her the inspiring and caring leader that she is today. Amina is remarkable for a career that has seen her excel in the private sector, where she broke many barriers as a woman. She is remarkable for changing course dramatically in the early 2000s, when she moved away from the private sector and brought all of her skills to the UN Millennium Project. Amina is remarkable for having been the Minister for the Environment in Nigeria, where she steered national efforts on climate change, protecting the natural environment, and conserving resources for sustainable development. She is remarkable for serving as a senior special assistant to the President of Nigeria on the MDGs, the Millennium Development Goals, a role in which she helped to coordinate programs on poverty and education, as well as Nigeria's debt relief. So when the then UN Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon, needed someone to help him make plans for the successor to the MDGs, it's no surprise that he came knocking on her door. Amina is remarkable for being one, if not actually the main driving force of the Sustainable Development Goals to be achieved by 2030. We now have 17 ambitious but feasible goals to end extreme poverty, hunger, and inequality, and build countries and communities that are fair, safe, and sustainable. And we should all be profoundly grateful to her for that. Her present responsibilities as the number 2 at the UN are enormous, including, and let me just begin to list, the implementation of the 2030 Agenda, the management of UN reform, financing for development, bridging the gap between humanitarian and development action, climate change, migration, and global health. That's just Monday through Thursday. And if all this isn't enough, she has offered her guidance and support to many. As a board member for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the African Women's Millennium Initiative, Girl Effect, the 2016 African Union Reform, and the Action Aid International Right to Education Project. And I've just started the list. So I hope you will join me in welcoming this truly remarkable leader, and join me in thanking her for her decades of service to people the world over. Ladies and gentlemen, the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina J. Mohammed.